Hi, I'm Lorella, and today I'm going to talk about 5 skills you'll need if you want to start homesteading. Well, you can look around this room and see I am not in my normal setting. I'm in a hotel room. My daughter Carter is registering for college tomorrow. She has to take 2 math placement tests. She's a little bit of a brainiac, and tonight they're having a math study review at the college, so we are here near her college town where she's going to attend next year. So I have a few hours to spare in the hotel room while she is doing her study prep thing, and I thought I would take advantage of the time to record this video for you. I was tagged by Amanda at 3 Hens and a Baby to do the 5 homesteader skills, to list homesteader skills, necessary homesteader skills. This tag's been going around a while. I don't know who started it. I don't know the actual name of it. I apologize. But I really wanted to participate in it. I think it's an interesting topic. And thank you, Amanda, for tagging me. I'm going to have a link to her video right here, and it will also be down in the description below. And so basically, according to my understanding, is we're supposed to talk about the skills that we feel are crucial to homesteading. And I've been thinking about that, and she tagged me a little while ago. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get this video out. I've been working on my rabbitry and my chicks and just trying to get some infrastructure in place for my new animals on the farm this year. And that has taken all of my time and attention. For those of you who are new to my channel, I am not a farm girl because I did not grow up on a farm. I haven't been farming very long. I lived in Los Angeles for the past 20 years prior to moving my family out here to rural Missouri, where we are now homesteading. My husband and I homestead before and after our off-farm jobs with the goal of reducing our hours off-farm and producing more of our own food, living more sustainably, and supplying some of our income with on-farm businesses rather than being off-farm. And it is sometimes a slow go, but that's where we're at. If I can do this, you can do this. If you're interested in watching me learn how to garden, how to raise animals for food, how to do DIY projects, be sure and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you'll know every time a new video comes out. What are the necessary skills for a homesteader to have? I've got a list of 5 of them, and actually the first 2 you might not really consider skills, but I do. I think that they're important to have, and so I'm going to talk about those first. And I think that these probably, if you don't have these 2 things, then the rest of them aren't going to really matter. That's my opinion. Skill number 1 that a homesteader needs is what I like to call, the technical term is stick-to-itiveness, otherwise known as perseverance. On the farm, things are going to go wrong, and they'll go wrong for anybody. You can't control the weather. You can't always control what your animals do. You can't control the market, but you can persevere through. And especially for those of us who are moving from the city to the farm and you're learning how to take care of your animals and how to garden and how to market yourself and how to prepare your food and preserve your food, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. And it would be easy to face some frustrations of a drought year or not making progress as quickly as you like to and just give it up and move away. And I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to know going in that there's going to be challenges, but that you can get through them. There's going to be times when animals die to no fault of your own in just weird freak ways, and it's upsetting and it's disheartening, but you can get through. You can do this. And I actually talk about one of those sad events on the farm, and we lost an animal last year, and I'll put a link to that right up here so you can watch that. And I don't show anything graphic, but I do talk about what it's like going through it and all of that. And it's tough. But I think it's important to know going in, it's not going to be this smooth sailing, easy life. You're going to face struggles, but it is so worth it. It's so rewarding when the animals have babies, when the animals thrive, when your garden grows and you produce an abundant harvest, when you get to spend more time with your family doing projects that you like. It's an amazing adventure that we're on. So keep it up. Stick with it. Skill number 2 that I think is necessary before you even learn anything else is the ability to learn and the willingness to learn. Nobody knows everything, and there's going to be a big learning curve when you're moving from the city to the farm. Even if you're starting a homestead in your own backyard, there's a lot to learn. You've got to learn how to grow food, how to preserve food, how to care for animals and keep them well and happy and healthy. There's so many things that you're going to have to learn, and you have to enjoy that. If it's not like school, because you're going to teach yourself most things. Now I do want to say the YouTube community is amazing. Anything you want to learn how to do, there's probably a YouTube video out there to do it. We have fixed our cars with YouTube. We have fixed our freezer with YouTube. I have learned so much from the homesteader community about how to care for animals and how to garden and all those kind of things. But you have to realize that it is a process, and that if you're like me, I was 43 when we moved to the farm. I haven't been out of college for 20 years before we moved to the farm. I wasn't in the constant learning mode all the time and trying to retain all that information and put it into practice. What I did last year in my garden, I don't even know how much of it I remember. So record keeping is important, and being willing to ask others if you don't know how to do something. You can't let your pride get in the way. You have to realize there are people out there who know more than you, and they would love to help you. And so use your resources, the library, the internet, your friends and family. Everyone's going to love to help you. And there's going to be lots of different opinions. So you're going to have to really, do your research and then figure out which one really resonates with the way you want to homestead. Are you going more organic, or are you going traditional? Are you chemicals or no chemicals? Are you non-GMO, or are you regular old seeds? Are you heritage only? All of that is going to make a play into how you homestead. Are you off-grid or on-grid? Are you doing water catchment or not? So there's so much to learn about, and so many people out there to help you. It's really a fun, amazing journey, but you're gonna have to be willing to learn and to grow and to stretch yourself and try new things. Number three, because I am an ASL interpreter, I'll do it the correct way. Number 3, for all you people who don't know ASL, number 3. This next skill, number 3, is actually 3 skills rolled into one, because this is the down and dirty part of homesteading. This is the actual nuts and bolts, the nitty gritty. This is basic tool knowledge, basic animal husbandry, and basic gardening skills. Those are the 3 things you're going to have to learn first. You want to grow food, you want to raise animals, and you got to build stuff. You have to have fences for your gardens and trellises for your gardens and shelters for your animal. And even if you move to a homestead, let's say that you live somewhere with crazy high property values and you bought it 100 years ago and you're selling and you're cashing out all this money, and you're going to be able to just buy a homestead that already has outbuildings and already has animal houses and already has a barn and a tractor, and you're just getting it all kit and caboodle. Well, guess what? Something's going to break. You need to know how to fix things. You need to know how to use a hammer and a drill and a saw and wrenches and sockets and how to stretch fencing, because barbed wire fencing has got to be replaced. Animals get through. You're going to have to replace chicken wire. You're going to have to use hardware cloth. If all of this sounds like a foreign language to you, guess what? It's skills you're going to need. You're going to need some basic gardening skills. You're going to need some basic animal husbandry skills. If you haven't had a lot of experience before you move, please start where you are. Start with a backyard garden. Grow food, not lawns. Get some meat rabbits. Get some backyard chickens and collect the eggs and share them with your neighbors. There's so many things you can start where you are, and the more you learn where you are, the farther ahead you're going to be when you make that move. So if you're in the saving up part of it right now, and you're not ready to make that jump yet, but you're really interested, you're watching everybody's videos, we were where you are. And I really wish, one of my main regrets about this is that I didn't start learning these skills 5 or 6 years before we moved. My husband had wanted to homestead for a while, and I just wasn't on board with it. I didn't even know it was called homesteading. And he just, he's like, we need to move where we can be more sustainable and grow some of our own food and have our own resources and not be so dependent. And I was just like, I love my sunny SoCal life. I like the palm trees and the beach, and I'm not leaving. And that can be your thing, so whatever. And I didn't learn, really. I had 1 year of a garden before we left. It didn't do so great. I really wish I had started when we were in the city and really built up a good skill set before I moved to the farm. So number 3 is your basic skills, your carpentry, Mr. Fix-It, gardening, and animal husbandry. Skill number 4 that you need on a homestead is money management and budgeting. Everything takes money. You think we're just going to go live off grid, we're going to live off the land, and we're going to eat our own food and, catch rainwater and guess what? What if you need to run to town for something? How are you going to pay for the gas in your car? If your clothes wear out, you have to either buy new clothes or you have to sew clothes, and you're going to need material to do that. Unless you're going to grow your own cotton and weave it and, make clothes out of animal skins, which I guess you could do. Whatever your budget looks like, you need to be able to stick to it. Homestead skill number 5. I really feel this 5th homestead skill is crucial. And this isn't necessarily a homestead skill. This is a life skill that I think so many people have really not got a good grasp on. And it is the skill of learning to love the life you're living. It really is a choice that you can make. If in whatever situation you're in, you can either make changes towards where you want to be. If there are things you can't change, learn to find the good in those things you can't change, and learn to love the life you lead. If you move to the farm and homestead, there's always going to be somebody who is farther along in homesteading than you, who has a better garden than you, whose animals are not having the same problem your animals are having. There's going to be people who have the nicer house or the nicer car or whatever it is that you wish you had. I wish I had a finished house. My house has been under construction for 5 years. We're paying for it little by little, cash as we go. And we're just now starting to get some drywall in. And I have to learn, I have to have the skill to be able to look at my unfinished house and say, it's a shelter and it keeps me warm and my family is safe and happy and we have plenty of food and I love this life. I love living on the farm. And really, whether my house is finished or not, it's okay. Because I've got the animals and the food, and it's a quality of life that we are providing our family, a debt-free life. So I think that there are going to be times, we all go through seasons of lack and seasons of plenty. We go through seasons of health and sickness. There's reason that marriage vows are for better or worse, for richer or poor, in sickness and in health, because life has seasons of all of those. And it doesn't matter where you live. If you're in the city, if you're on the farm, if you're in the mountains or at the beach, if you live in the desert, if you live in the US or the UK or wherever you live, life is going to have seasons like that. And you have to learn to be able to love the life you're in. And one thing that I have really learned in my life and I have practiced is I find humor every day. I think that there's always something in every day that's funny. And I know there are some really rough days. Many of you know that when we moved to Missouri, I was helping care for my father until he passed away. But even on the day of his funeral, which was a very sad day, there were still things that were funny that happened. We could remember things with my father and laugh and enjoy the time that we had with him. So I really strongly believe that laughter is the best medicine, and that if you resent your life now, wherever you are, moving to the farm isn't going to change that resentment. You can, I think it's good to have goals. I think it's good to have dreams. But I think that whatever problems are in you, when you move, you take those with you. So work from the inside out. Find joy every day. Find peace where you are every day. Find the things that you can do to make you happy, make you smile, make you laugh every day. I think that's a valuable skill that everybody needs. Well, there's my take on 5 skills a homesteader should have, and I am going to tag Mama Grows. So Kathleen, you've been tagged, and if you haven't seen her channel, make sure you check her out. I will leave a link in the description down below. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I am going to take this opportunity to go soak in the hot bath, because my house, I don't have a bathtub that I can soak in yet because it's still under construction, but I'm really excited to do that here. So I will see you all later. Thank you for watching. See you next time the rooster crows.